So global warming is a very complicated topic. One of the things you need to know is, of course, that greenhouse gases are really the things that are causing big changes to global climate. And that burning natural gas as fuel, or actually leaking natural gas, both of those things release greenhouse gases and therefore change climate. So how does natural gas stack up? Well, natural gas emits fewer greenhouse gases per unit of energy than many of our current world energy options, but it's worse than all the renewables. And another issue is that methane leaks in all stages really negate some of the benefits of using natural gas. So let's look at those. This is a plot showing essentially the amount of greenhouse gases over here on this axis and different fuel sources that you can get energy from. So natural gas it emits actually 10% fewer greenhouse gases than burning gasoline. So if we had all of our cars running on natural gas, we could immediately cut 10% off of the lifetime emissions of our cars. Electricity in the world and the US as well is largely generated by coal, but coal is twice as dirty when it comes to greenhouse gases as natural gas. So natural gas is a great solution. If we replaced all of our coal-fired power plants with natural gas, we would be cutting our emissions in half. A wonderful thing to do. But natural gas is definitely not green. It uses 10, 20 times more greenhouse gases, or emits 10 to 20 times more greenhouse gases than solar, geothermal, hydroelectric, all these renewable options. So natural gas is definitely not the optimal solution. It's a better solution than the status quo, but we could be going directly to renewables, and that's one of the biggest arguments against natural gas, is that people feel like going from here to here, from coal to natural gas, isn't nearly as effective as if we just went straight to the renewables and invested in those. They feel like it's delaying our process of getting to renewables, and there might be a good argument for that. Other people argue that it's a good bridge to fuel to go from coal to natural gas first before we go to renewables. Another thing about natural gas is that it itself, methane gas, the word for natural gas, is indeed a greenhouse gas by itself. And about 2 to even 10% of all the gas used in every one of the cities in the US is lost by leaks in the city-maintained pipes. So you have a rusty old pipe here, and it gets a little hole in it, and that's going to leak natural gas. So this is a picture showing an organization that went around and had a little sensor on a car, and they drove every street in Washington, D.C. and measured the amount of methane coming up out of the ground, and that's coming out almost exclusively from these leaking pipes. And there were all sorts of leaks, such that we're losing 10%. We could cut our emissions by just fixing that infrastructure. Of course, fixing that infrastructure would require digging up every street in Washington, D.C. and placing down new pipes. Hugely expensive. There are also leaks that have been documented, if you look at some of the links in here, in the natural gas fields themselves, where actually the oil and gas companies are losing maybe as much as 10% of the gas as they pump it out of the ground. And so that's something that they will probably work to improve, because that's lost product to them. So stay tuned as we figure out how to deal with this leak issue.